Hello everyone, JRDL96 here, back again with a brand new Creepypasta to reach you all. Today, we're going to be reading a lost episode Creepypasta called The Black Friday Incident, which is a Toy Story Creepypasta. So let's begin this Creepypasta. The early stages of production on the film Toy Story were a complete nightmare. The production was in a sort of a developmental hell until the infamous Black Friday incident. Disney harassed the then new animation studio Pixar constantly. They were to produce and release the film, and they wanted results as quickly as possible. Disney tried everything to limit Pixar's efforts to deviate from the Disney formula, and even at times threatening to shut the production down. Disney sent notes on revisions that they thought would improve the film. They insisted through their notes, which all read, "Edge. The film needs more edge." The people working on the film at the time struggled so hard to maintain all of the Disney notes and demands once a week that they were required to fly across the country to the Disney offices to present them with progress once a week. Every time they were met with the same response: "Edge. The film needs more edge." Pixar revised the film so hard to meet the deadlines that it resulted in some rather interesting changes in order to achieve edge. The film became quite a lot darker. Woody became a wildly unlikable character, much like more angry and far less comedic than in the final product. Bo Peep's role in the story was far more prevalent, often flirtatious towards the male characters, and is the first to accuse Woody of pushing Buzz out the window. Buzz Lightyear was referred at this point in production as Lunar Larry. He is highly reminiscent of an older superhero, talking in a deeper voice, and is even more deluded and ignorant of his surroundings. The other toys were relatively unchanged, save for minor aesthetic differences. Pixar employees literally worked 24/7 non-stop. Director John Lasseter joked on more than one occasion that he had the best parking space at the office because his car hadn't moved for over 3 days. Some of the writers and storyboard artists began to suffer from chronic insomnia. A few writers reported seeing visions of Buzz and Woody taunting them on their lack of progress, chanting, "Edge, the film needs more edge." Many of the initial workers quit due to the stress it was putting on their personal lives, much to the distress of the remaining crew. By November of 1992, there were 2 of the 5 writers left, and only one of the 3 storyboard artists. The remaining storyboard artist was named Ralph Thompson. He joined the Pixar team in the winter of 1987. Working on short films such as Tin Toy and Knick Knack. He, at that same time, did some storyboard work for The Nightmare Before Christmas with fellow artist Joe Ranft. Joe came down with a serious illness and hadn't been in work in a week. Ralph worked constantly in fear of the inevitable correction by Disney. More edge! More edge! Each presentation meant another row of sleepless nights of rewriting and redrawing the same characters in the same bedroom over and over and over. It was maddening. One morning, John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, and then other higher-ups at Pixar came into the office and told everybody of what happened at their last meeting. Disney felt that things were not looking very good for the film, and demanded that, in less than a week, they see the complete film in storyboards with audio, with massive revisions. There was a general groan and whining from the crew, and they went back to work. Ralph worked harder than all the others involved. Sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, one of the writers would walk into Ralph's office with a packet of newly written scenes, more to draw, more with drawings. Men wore scratch voice work. When a film is still in the writing storyboard stages, artists will do temporary voices for the story reels. He had Disney's vague instructions racing through his mind. More edge, edgier, more. We want results, people. Edgier. This is a business. Faster, more edge. Move on already. God damn it. He thought to himself this exactly. The film needed an edge. It needs to be darker, more cynical. It needed more dull humor in situations. It needed an attitude, of course. Ralph, you goddamn retard. How couldn't you see it sooner? Edge. All those hundreds of hours bent all over a desk, and all you needed was a fucking edge. Why didn't you listen sooner? He gave the film an edge. The story reels were thrown over with the main crew to the head offices at Disney. The date was November 27, 1992, Black Friday. The film was brought into the Disney screening room. The reel was about 48.5 minutes long. The film started out as a old Western-style shootout between Woody and Andy, resulting in Andy being shot down. It is revealed that this was just a game played inside Andy's mind. The film continued on with the little problems for about the first 20 minutes or so, though several gags seemed off with the overall tone of the film. For example, Mr. Potato Head would pull one of his eyes out and kick them right under Bo Peep's dress for a look-see. There were several scenes of Woody yelling at the toys to stop caring about Buzz or Larry and to pay attention to him, culminating in insults and minor acts of violence. The scene comes to where Andy can only take one toy to beat the planet, and Woody pushes Buzz out the window. Woody offers to shake hands with Buzz, only to throw him out the window. There is a stock smashing noise. The other toys were shocked and antagonized Woody for what he has done. Woody shows little remorse and screams at Slinky Dog to make the toy stop harassing him. After much yelling, one of the Green Army men saying the word "goddamn," the toys grab Woody and toss him out the window as well. He falls onto the ground with a low thump. Cheering is heard from the interior of the house. The quality of the storyboards became much less refined and almost like chicken scratch. Woody gets up to see Buzz, and Buzz's body shattered on impact. His arms and legs were broken off and located only a few inches away. There was a large crack down the middle of his chest, revealing a mess of buttons and wires inside. He gave off a sort of electrical twitch motion in his head. His eyes looked as if they were about to pop out of their plastic sockets. The twitching stopped after a few moments, and Woody looks in fear at what he has done to Buzz, and he runs off. There's a jump cut to the scene where the two get stuck in the claw machine. Storyboard art is back to its normal level of quality. This machine is filled with sunglasses wearing pizzas as opposed to the aliens in the final movie. Buzz is completely unharmed and intact. The scene is almost verbatim to the final film. Sid, the antagonist in control of the claw, is wearing a yellow t-shirt and smoking 3 cigarettes at once. The claw grabs Woody and Buzz, putting them in the clutches of Sid. There's another jump cut, once again returning to the chicken scratch style of artwork. The scene is inside of Sid's room. Woody looks around the room in fear. He tiptoes around the room and collapses at seeing one of Sid's mutant toys. The reel now shows unrelated test animation of the characters running. A few seconds of Buzz running in place. A few seconds of Woody running. And nearly a minute of the two running together. The footage is distorted and the Spanish text is presented on the screen. It looked like clay models that got life. There is now a shot of Woody standing in front of a black background in the trademark Pixar ball. It's rolling around in the distance. The animation is now the traditional animation style of a typical 2D Disney film. Woody is completely naked with anatomically correct features and stares directly into the camera. His flesh begins to rot away, and with the exception of his eyes, which remain intact. Woody begins to moan in a low voice. What remains of his lips curl into a smile, bits of flesh peeling off as this happens. He lifts up his decomposing arm manually and waves it to the camera. His fingers dig into his eyes. Dark blood oozes out of their sockets. Woody begins to scream and growl. Did you want it? Don't you want it? Don't you love it? He digs so deep as to rip the entire half of his head off. Woody gets a sigh of relief and begins eating the flesh off the skull before tossing it aside. He writes the word "edge" on the screen, and with his rotting fingertips. The remaining 15 minutes of the reels were pencil scribbles accompanied by the shrill screams of a young woman. The word "edge" is burned into the projection screen. The screening ended in complete silence. Chairman of Disney at the time, Jeffrey Katzenberg, walked out of the screen quietly telling his colleagues. Notes. They were following all the notes that we were giving them. Upon returning to the Pixar offices, writer Pete Docter found the body of Ralph Thompson in an enormous pile of paper in his office. Further analysis found that the cause of death was a heart attack brought on a lack of sleep and stress. The papers were all storyboards and animation cells of the final coherent scene of Woody. The word "edge" scrawled on the back of each one. After the Black Friday screening, Disney was far less involved in the film. Pixar was given the freedom to make the film their way. The film went on to be a huge success, in both critically and financially. The Black Friday incident still remains very much a mystery. Furthermore, there is a short bonus feature on the Toy Story Blu-ray about the incident, curiously not mentioning the more notable scenes. It can also be found on YouTube for anyone who is curious to see the whitewashed history. Disney produced a short documentary to avoid discussing the incident. If you contact them about it, you'll be redirected to the Blu-ray's Amazon page, if you even get a response at all. My lord, Disney, are you trying to ruin great films before they even hit the theaters? Is that really the case? Well, thank God the Pixar didn't go with the Frozen formula. But I really fucking enjoyed this Creepypasta. It was fantastic. And, you know, these incidents, the Black Friday incident, is actually true. And actually, you can look up this story reel that they did show. They probably showed a part of it. They only showed the scene where Woody throws Buzz out the window, and then it ends with them throwing Woody out the window too. It is fucked up. Like, after watching, I was like, my God, thank God they didn't go with this, because jeez, like you see, like, Woody, it feels so wrong. After I see Woody yelling at Slinky, it was like, my God, he's fucking like a fucking slave here, Slinky. Telling him, oh, you would have been in Goodwill. Oh my God. Well, I really have to give this Creepypasta a recommendation. This did happen. It actually did happen. It happened around the same time in 1992. The Black Friday incident does really exist, but we really don't know what happened in there. Besides that scene, they didn't really describe most of the notable scenes. Only John Lasseter said, oh, it's just a nightmare that we don't even want to watch again. It was just a nightmare. Something like those lines. But in my case, I think this Creepypasta is very, very, very good. I would like to recommend this one to all of you. I would like to see some comments down below, see if you will have any changes to make this even better. If you like what you saw here, then like, comment, subscribe for more Creepypastas. This is Jared 96, and I am out.